What's going on, guys? It's fall. Every time this year I brew a fall pumpkin beer. This year's a little different. This is kind of a slapped together recipe, if you will. I had a partial kit of some Yuengling porter grains that I need to use up. And so I figured, why not try and do a pumpkin spice coffee porter this time? So what we're gonna do is do that exactly. I had this Yuengling base beer that was part of a beer kit. It was a Yuengling porter copycat base beer kit. I'll put all the grain bill information in the information below in the video here, and also the hops we're using are the ones I always like to use, the German Hallertaur. So I do have 2 ounces of those that we're going to use in this brew today. Little difference is I'm going to use some lactose as well to kind of give it a little creamy, sweet mouth feel to the beer, along with some pumpkin pie spices. And in the fermenter, I'm going to put about 4 ounces of coffee beans in there, just straight medium roasted coffee beans in there. I'll probably do maybe 4 to 8 ounces or so in the primary fermenter, and they will just sit in there the entire time that this beer ferments. But right now, I've got the sparge water heated up over here. I am doing things a little differently this time. I have sparge water right there, and I have my claw-in-one unit heating up to mash in. Now, one thing I noticed, these are I had these both going on the same circuit, and my breaker kept popping because this, I don't know how many amps this guy is pulling right here, but I'm pretty sure it's maxed out. I had this one set to 1800 and I dialed down to 1500. It didn't matter. Even at 15 amps, 10 amps, whatever, I was still popping the breaker. So if I want to do any sparge water in the future, what I'm gonna have to do is maybe plug the sparge water heater into my other breakers circuit, and I got to figure out which one of these plugs in here in my shed is a separate circuit. But yeah, I tested it out. The breaker does work. No fires today. And yeah, man, let's make some pumpkin beer. It's fall. And let's hope we get some efficiencies off of my new grain mill that I demonstrated in my grain mill video. That thing tore those grains up like nobody's business. It put my other grain mill to shame. So it's a keeper. And yeah, so let's go, man. So I did set this temperature to about 156 or so because I wanted to go a little bit higher than the true mash temp, just in case the grains cool it down some. So I'm going to take off this recirc pipe first. Just set it aside for the moment. Take the lid off here. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in some gypsum. So we're going to do a little under a teaspoon. We're going to do half a teaspoon, and let's see, and just under a quarter here. So, all right, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and mix that in a little bit. Get it well dissolved. Got the basket together. I'm just going to simply set it down in here, like so. All right, this should be fun because I am going to be putting a lot in here. I'm going to be putting the rice hulls, the pumpkin, the grain, whole 9 yards. So this will be fun. First and foremost, let's do the rice hulls. But just going to put them in there. Put them all in there. I'm gonna get these down in the water. It's gonna be a very porridgey mash. Looks like I might need to take some of my sparge water. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this particular unit. This is a little too thick. So I'm gonna steal some water from my sparge water heater real quick. A few liters here. Need to get this a little bit more soupy. Right now this is just rice hulls. Alright. Okay, that's better. Okay, next thing I want to do is put in our grains. Do a little bit at a time. It's gonna take me some time to get used to the right grist ratio in this thing. I'm gonna kind of push it all down to the bottom. Might have to add a little more water, we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna add a little more water. All right, let's add more water. Starting to think maybe I should use 1 pound of rice hulls, but we're already in the thick of it, so let's just move forward. It's a little too thick. Okay. All right, this is looking better. Yeah, this is looking better. All right, this is what the consistency should look like. Should kind of look liquidy. I'm gonna have to adjust my water to grain. I might do 1.5 quarts of water per pound of grain in the future, I'm thinking. This is all trial and error since I don't really have any step-by-steps on this particular system. This sits a little higher up. Here's my pumpkin. As you saw earlier, I roasted this pumpkin for about 45 minutes at 425 degrees to try to get all the sugars to extract out of the pumpkin. So now I'm just going to mash this in. So just need to get it in there. This usually makes a really sticky mash. So I go to the bottom, scoop some of that stuff up on the bottom. Yeah. All right, man. Pretty full basket. Let's go ahead and get the top plate on. Messer. All right. take the screen. The idea is try to keep the bits under the screen, so. Want to tap it down till you got work poking through, just like that. Got a little on my fingers, but whatever. Then I'm going to take this little piece here. Just put it on top like that. Now it locks. Now I don't know this. Maybe claw hammer guys, you can chime in if you watch any of these videos. I would assume you do. My question is, this pipe locks, so you can't push it down, and you sure don't want to put your hands down in the wort after it's locked. I'm assuming you leave it up like this. I don't see why not. I mean, at least it keeps the overflow way up high. I don't really know. But the idea is to keep the grain up here anyways, right? Keep it from going down into the wort. So I'm going to clean this off and that off. But yeah, that's the only part I don't understand is why that pipe locks. There's a little locking component to it. And I'm assuming that it's supposed to, the pipe's supposed to stay up high, but maybe the old boys at Claw Hammer might see this video and tell me. So anyways, let's start the recirc, see what happens here. I'm going to dial that speed down a little bit. It's a little crazy. Yeah, dial the speed down and hope most of it just goes through the bed, not through the bottom. But yeah, it's flowing. Temp. Set it down to 152. And set the timer to 60 minutes. Alright. Alright, timer's going. Alright, so the more I think about this, it's going to be a slow drain through there. I'm going to have to lift this out and reach that knob at the bottom down there and push this down, because I think that's going to be needed to keep the pump from getting dry at the bottom, so it allows water to flow through the bottom for what doesn't drain through the middle. So I think I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, so I ended up, pulling the basket up and getting to that little locking knob thing. And I believe we do want this pipe lower. I'm just going to push it down to about like that. And that'll kind of help ensure that we don't have the pump run dry at the bottom in case everything doesn't drain quick enough through the middle. But it'll still run through the top, which I've already got the screen back in place here. So I'm essentially just going to I'm going to pull this up just a tad. Maybe about like that. And let's put the lid back on. Alright, so you can see there it is. I got it on like a trickle. Trying to encourage it to go more down the grain basket versus through the center pipe. And so far, it doesn't look like it's really catching up to the center pipe much, but we'll see. As things get stickier, that could change. But right now, we will let it do its thing. And I will do a wort conversion. I'll do a starch to sugar conversion check here in a little while. But yeah, it looks like it's kind of staying steady there. Not trying to go over yet. It's kind of trickling through the bottom, I can tell. Cool. Alright guys, we are at the 35 minutes left of the mash mark. We got some nice color going. I haven't taken a gravity measurement or anything at the moment. I'm going to pull up what the Beersmith app says my gravity should be, because I did load this all in Beersmith, although I don't use the Beersmith timers. I do use Beersmith to kind of help me calculate my water and my potential gravity for the beer. So let's take a look and see on this app. Go to my recipes here, cloud recipes. Now it says that my gravity should be about, what should it be? 1048? So around about 1048. So yeah, we will see if we get a 1048 gravity on this. I'm hoping so. I did have to add a lot of water in there to kind of get more of a porridgey consistency on that mash. So yeah, I'm gonna also sparge it. I got, what do I have? I've got about 6 liters of sparge water, which comes out to about 1.5 gallons of water. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to try to get an idea. Well, I can lift the basket up and see underneath to see where the pre-boil volume is, and if it's still not there, what I'll probably do is just do some more fresh water and sparge more till I get to my pre-boil volume. Try to rinse out as much of those sugars as possible. Even if I got to rake the grains and everything, I will. This beer style, pumpkin beers, especially when I use the canned pumpkin versus the pie pumpkins that I sometimes use, I tend to deal with a little bit of a stuck sparge at times. I think in the future with this unit, I'm going to go with 1 pound of rice hulls instead of 2, because you can see those 2 pounds really soaked up a lot of my mash water. But we'll see. Let's take a look and see how things look. We're going to pick this guy up here. Well, it's getting dark, like it should be. Nice brownish dark color. So it tells me that it's definitely running through the grains, because it's got a nice dark tea color to it. Kind of almost like chocolate milk, kind of. You know, it has that color to it. So that's what it should look like. It should be a darker brown. It's a porter. So it's a porter, so it should be like a dark brown color to it. And that does look like what I'm getting out of it. And you can see in the recircos here, it's got a nice dark color going. So it does look promising anyway, so we'll see. It's time for me to crank this thing up to 168 and mash out. I'm gonna hit manual on it. I'm gonna set the temperature to 168. All right, we'll let that go, and then I will lift the basket out and do some sparging and raking of the grains to get as much of those sugars out as I can. And then we'll see where we are on pre-boil gravity. So I'm hoping to get some trapped sugars out of there. We'll see. I'm not going to leave the top screen on there though. I'm going to take it off, and then I'll be able to just pour the sparge water on top and just let it run through that grain bed real good. So I'm not a big fan of leaving the top plate on these days. I like to take it off. And even with the grain feather I had, towards the end I would pull the pipework up enough, pop that top screen off, and rinse that whole bed of grains real good. Just kind of pour the water consistently through and through on there. So see you guys when we sparge. Use the edge of my, there you go. Pull this guy on out. Don't need it anymore really. I'm going to rake through these grains a little bit to encourage the draining. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse the grains. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of sparge water here, so I'm just going to kind of let that kind of drain down. My water calcs might be okay on this, but we'll see. I ended up just putting more water here. My sparge water will be less, but I think total water volume should iron out. But I'm gonna use all the water and then we'll see where it is. We are sitting pre-boil right at the right about the 6 gallon mark, just over the 6 gallon mark. So I don't need to top this off at all, be honest. Looks like the water calcs were pretty close using Beersmith, and maybe I won't change the water to grain ratio just for this particular unit. What I'll end up doing is I'll just add more water till the mash looks right every time, you know, so I get that nice porridgey look, and then I'll leave the rest of the water in the sparge water heater to sparge with after the fact. But I don't know, man. I'll boil off maybe, you know, half a gallon, and then after that I'll still lose maybe another 0.2 gallons or so from here going into the fermenter. And then I should end up with right about 5 gallons to bottle or keg. Let's do a pre-boil gravity reading with the Easy Dens this round. I'm actually going to use the Easy Dens. I'm not going to bother with the refractometer this time since it was quite a bit off from my Easy Dens reading last time. So let's do that. 1038. So I said we were going to be at 1048 post-boil. I bet we get closer to like 1044 or so, but we'll see. We'll see what it shows after the boil's done and everything. Also, the lactose is going to bump up the pre-boil, or it's going to bump the gravity up because it's an unfermentable sugar. So it'll give us a false sense of gravity on the reading, which means that the beer will probably ferment down to like 1018, 1020 possibly. We'll see. But right now we're at 1038 pre-boil. It's about what I expected. So yeah, let's see how she goes. We are at a boil, so I'm gonna take the lid off here. We've hit 212, the timer has started. I'll go ahead and leave the lid off. For the rest of this, we're gonna go ahead and add our first 1 ounce pack of German Hallertaur here. We're gonna open his bag. Oh man, nice and fresh smelling. They smell good. Go ahead and put those hops in the basket. Put the hops in the basket. All right. Next thing I want to do is add in our lactose. This is a 1 pound bag of lactose. I'm going to use half of this bag. Almost there. Sticky stuff, man. All right, that's about half the bag. That's it. We'll let it boil away, and we'll do the next hop drop at 15 till I turn the unit off, and also we'll add the pumpkin pie spices at that time too. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and add in the pumpkin pie spice because it's that time. That'll make the whole brewing space smell so good. I'll go ahead and do a tablespoon and do half of one. Really spice this beer up. You can just rinse it off in the wort. All right. Oh yeah, that smells really nice. That's like, it's like immediate. It's wild. Throw it in the hop spider. All right. There's 15 minutes, and then it'll be time to put this beer in a fermenter after I cool it down. All right, here we are, guys. I'm gonna put the beer in a fermenter. I'm gonna take the coffee, throw it in the bottom of the fermenter, and it will stay there during the entire fermentation. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the valve. Let it just fill up. I want that beer to splash real nice. Or I want that wort to splash real nice because it'll aerate it real nice. Be all nice and that'll be all good and foamy, indicating some good aeration in there. We ended up with about 5.5 gallons post boil, which is perfect, man. I don't think I need to mess with the water ratios anymore in Beersmith. I think I got that dialed in. What I need to do now is just maybe make sure that my mash looks porridgey, but not too liquidy. And then whatever's left in the sparge, I'll sparge with. But man, that worked out perfect. This is the sample we're gonna test the gravity on here in a minute after I get the fermenter filled up. So stay tuned for a minute. It's flashing. 10:48. All right. Dead on the money. I can live with that. Like I said, that's what Beersmith said I would get. And so man, I think I hit my numbers this round, which is awesome. The last beer I didn't, but I think it all had to do with the grain crush, to be honest. All right, guys. So, yeah, later in this video, we'll do the tasting. It's gonna be a couple weeks for me, but for you, it'll be instantaneous. But check it out. I got both beers chilling down right now. Well, this one's been going for about a week. This is the lager. I've got it dialed to 50. It's at 59 right now because I had to unplug this guy. I had to unplug the stasis so I could use the outlet for my fan and everything, but it's not a big deal. It got up to like 59 degrees this whole time while I had it unplugged, but you can see everything's chilling down. I've got the pumpkin porter here. I already have the yeast on there. Coffee beans are in there and everything. And I've got it chilling down to 68 degrees. So by the time that US05 really takes off, it'll definitely be down to 68 degrees tonight. So I'm not really too worried about that. And yeah, so yeah, they're both there fermenting away and on my little stand here. So now I'm going to finish cleaning up this unit. Clean out the easy dens real good, let it dry real nice overnight. And yeah, we will see you here shortly. Happy Halloween, guys. Yeah, I'm actually videoing this part of the tasting on Halloween right now. And the video should be posted here on Halloween. But this is the Pumpkin House Porter beer that we brewed a few weeks ago. But man, it smells like coffee. Very fluffy head on that beer, man. Very airy, fluffy, creamy head on it. But man, the coffee I smell coffee. Mostly coffee. I barely smell pumpkin spices on this. So this thing has been aging in the keg a couple weeks. But yeah, smells pretty good. So let's go in for the taste on it and see how it is. The body is a little less malty than I would prefer. I wish it was a little bit more malty than it is. The coffee is right up front, straight up front, very bold. It's got a cold brew coffee kind of taste to it. Yes, it's got a very cold brew coffee taste to it up front. You can taste the subtleness of this pumpkin pie spices, even with 1.5 tablespoons. I think I put 1.5 tablespoons in this, and the spices are kind of subtle. The coffee just kind of overpowers the spice portion of this beer. It's not a terrible beer though, and it's actually, I tried it before a little bit, and it seems to be getting better with age. As it sits and ages a little bit, it's coming together a little more. It's a very smooth mouthfeel though. Very creamy mouthfeel. But yeah, it's definitely a porter pumpkin spice coffee mix going on in this. I would say that I don't like this quite as much as like my regular annual pumpkin beer that I've done over the years. But it's something different. I wanted to try something else. But yeah, not too bad. Good lacing on it too. Look at that. The lacing's really nice. Using an old muffin top glass that I got a long time ago from Brewing America. But yeah, man, I don't have any big complaints about it. It's a little different than what, like I said, it's a little different than what I usually make. But yeah, it's not a terrible beer. Now, usually I send this annual fall beer out to some friends, a few select friends out there. I did not send packages out this year. I apologize. I didn't feel like this one, I didn't know how this one was going to shake out. And I didn't really feel like it was mail worthy. Although it's not dump worthy. I mean, it came out pretty well on the claw-in-one system. It brewed pretty well. I hit my numbers on it like I was supposed to. And yeah, so yeah, it brewed fine on the claw-in-one. The claw hammer claw-in-one. But yeah, I'm going to do a wintertime beer here soon. And maybe I'll ship a few of these out. I don't know. Maybe I'll bottle them and send them out anyways. And you can give me, you know, I'll reach out to those people and ask them for their opinions on it. But right now, it seems to be coming together. So I just wanted to do a quick taste on it, talk about it for a minute. Mainly wanted to show off brewing it on the claw-in-one unit. That went through really well. I also have an Oktoberfest that we're going into November. There's an Oktoberfest video coming up too that will get released here in November of me using the claw-in-one to brew that. That one was, that process didn't go smooth, like as far as conversion to starch conversion to sugar goes. The crush was a problem. As you saw, I released a video here recently of a new grain crusher. So I did get to use the new grain crusher for this beer. The Oktoberfest ABV suffered on it. And my numbers suffered with my old crusher. So anyways, guys, happy Halloween. Stay safe tonight. And we'll see you here soon when I put the other beer video posted here soon. And I got some more cook videos coming too. So cheers. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Love all of you. Cheers.